We're gonna pull everybody up in 1 second. We're just gonna let this rock for a minute. We're gonna let this ride for a hot minute. Put some respect on this right here, you heard? Get 'em. Thank you, everybody. Happy Sunday, everybody out there. Happy Sunday. It's your host, Ace World, coming to you live, 8:16 p.m. Once again with another exciting episode of Sunday Night Smoke Podcast, y'all. Let's go. In the house, we have, as usual, the lovely co-host, T. Roni Robinson. What up, T. Roni? How you doing, sis?
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Yeah. We also got in the house the world famous Tony D, y'all.
What's good? How's everybody living? How's everybody doing? All that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us. And last but not least, and we will have other guests. This is gonna be a revolving show. We just gonna keep it rocking. I got my man, the infamous brother Shannon in the house. Talk to me, big brother. How you doing, man? Welcome aboard. Let me get your volume. I can't hear your volume, brother. Your volume.
You hear me now?
Yep, copy. Thank you for joining us, brother Shannon.
My pleasure. You know I'm gonna answer.
Your voice is a little muffled. I can hear you, but it's not. It's like a little. Just a little muffly. But you work on that. I'm just gonna shoot I'm gonna shoot it in the meanwhile. Just work on that for a second. So Roni, talk to me. How was your weekend? Real quick. Give people time to pull up.
Good, keeping it busy, you know. Like I can't complain. I cannot complain. How was yours?
All right. How's the weather over there? Like we getting a little heavy rain. It was kind of heavy over here on the rain end. You know what I mean?
I heard. No, I mean yesterday was fine. It was sunny. Today was overcast. So we didn't get anything. We've been having tornadoes, but nothing what you guys are getting. Y'all getting it kind of bad.
No thanks. You can keep them joints. Yeah, but I'll take the rain. It'll help the plants grow. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, there you go. Our discussion.
Exactly. And rolling into that segue.
Keep it dank and dark.
We're gonna just keep it. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Let's roll. Yeah. Let me rolling. Yeah, this is just the intro stages. Go for it, big brother.
What's her name? Tenderoni?
Yeah.
Okay, Tenderoni. So do y'all really go in the basement and put your head between your legs like during the tornado like they used to make us do at school?
Oh, I don't know nothing about that, honestly.
That was some old bullshit. I didn't understand. Why are we going to lean up against the wall with our head down between our legs and a goddamn funnel cloud is coming? So we're totally defenseless. We're in a fetal position and a funnel cloud is coming.
Did you say Tenderoni? It's T-Roni.
I go to the basement if it's like real bad. When I get
I'm sorry. I need glasses and shit, but
we say that also.
Because the screen is squint, so I thought it might have been abbreviating her shit.
It's cool though. T-Roni's not offended by Tenderoni. That's one of the names that several nicknames are affiliated with that.
That's just Tony. That's just Tony being a motherfucker. See, he a nosy motherfucker. There you go, poking the bear again, motherfucker. Go ahead and poke the bear.
Hogan the Bear. Thanks for the award, eMoney24. Thank you, my man. Dropping some coins. That's gonna go to the pot jar. You know what I'm saying? So in the bag this week on today's exciting episode, we got How High Cannabis Talk. All right. So we're gonna talk a little bit of smoke, legalization, because that's new, because I'm in New York. So we're gonna roll into some New York-ish on this legalization thing. Let's see what else we're gonna feed into. Growth and development. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. First we'll start with I don't know which states. Let's start with some let me ask you a couple of questions about some of these states. Is this legal in Maryland, T-Roney? Just curious.
In DC, the DC area, now people can, of course, correct me. This is from my understanding. DC, actually, you're allowed to have a small ounce without penalties. In Maryland, it is not legal to have any unless it's medicinal. So they have an actual department that you have to go through in order to have it legally.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But there's
What about
shops everywhere. There's dispensaries everywhere.
Mhm.
But you just have to, and it's pretty easy to get you just really have to have the money. It's really about getting money. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Copy. Big up to Maryland, damn it. What about you? I'm gonna work my way right around the circle. What about you, brother Brother Shannon, pardon me. How about in
Did you call me
Detroit?
Brother Shady?
No, I said no. I said Brother Shay. That's short for that's short for Shannon. Brother Shay, like Bro Shay,
Shay.
not Brother
Okay,
Shady.
okay.
No, not. There ain't nothing shady about you, brother. Come on, man. We peoples. No, I don't
I was
play
about
that.
to, I was about to go get
I
me
don't
a
play that
Newport
shit.
and shit and sit here
Nah,
and
I'm
drink me
not
a
on
can of beer. Call me Brother
I'm
Shady.
not on no slick talk shit. Nah,
I
you
know
a
you
guest, my
ain't, dog.
brother.
I just fucking with you.
Yeah, Bro Shay,
I'm just getting warmed up.
Yeah, me too. It takes me a while because I'm usually, I've been.
Nah, I've had some engaging conversations with my kid tonight, and made some tacos, and I'm actually having a really good evening tonight. We wanted to go out for ice cream, but it started raining and shit. So we don't do ice cream in the rain. So
No.
we don't do ice cream in the rain. So we said, fuck it, we're gonna wait till tomorrow to go. So
How about smoking? You smoke in the rain?
I'll smoke in the rain. I'm just not gonna take my grandkids out in the rain to get no ice cream. It ain't that serious.
Nah. They can live the ice cream another day. How about the legality?
Ice cream another day and shit.
Is it legal out there? Is recreational marijuana legal out there in your state?
It is. Recreational medical came first, and then recreational. It's wide open now. They just decriminalized mushrooms in Michigan.
Really?
Wow.
Damn, they pulling out all the stops.
I mean, after they in prison all the black folks for all the shit, now they're just gonna start legalizing it.
After all these years, right?
They're gonna make money off of it twice. And that's why I don't understand people that say they don't get in the cannabis business because of all the people that are in prison. I got in the cannabis business because of all the people that are in prison. I need some reparations off this shit, motherfuckers.
Now hold on, bro, because we're gonna get to that later in the program with growth and development.
Oh shit! Did I jump the shark?
Don't sweat it. Nah, don't sweat it. Nah, we still rocking. Nah, we popping. Nah, you good money. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into the growth and development aspect.
Yes, sir.
Tony D, what about in Georgia? We talking legal, recreational, or what?
Let me start.
If you know, I know you don't smoke, but
you's a funny motherfucker first.
That's my man right there, right? I miss that dude. I can't front like you know what I'm saying?
Just so you know, that was
We can't hear.
Tony D, you can volume up a little bit more.
Yeah.
You can turn your volume up a little more, Tony D, so you clear.
How about now?
Perfect.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'm trying to make sure that background noise don't come in too strong. Now that I know what it
Nah, you good. You good.
Georgia, I think, is still illegal. I think they authorize the medical with the card. I don't indulge in it, being that I'm a civil service employee. We can't invest in it. We can't grow it. You can't have stock in it. None of that.
Can't make no money. Damn it.
Nah, you can't touch it. Nah, I'm good though. I don't.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
I'm with Brother Shannon on what he's saying as far as them making money off of it and us getting something back off of it. I don't even necessarily have a problem with them legalizing it because people have been calling for this for decades. But like you said, they double dipping off of our sacrifice and how they persecuted us even after they set us up. They triple incoming off of all of this, and I'm with them. We need all types of reparations off of this shit. They need to pay Jamaica for it. That's probably why they won the Olympics and why Sha'Carri didn't run. Like I said, but that's a whole nother issue. So we're gonna start right there. But shit,
Let's get this shit popping.
yeah.
Let's get this shit popping. Let's bust a couple shots.
That's me in the chat when I put the mic shut down, so y'all know where I am in YouTube. I never really watch the YouTube at this at the same time. So for those of you who don't think I'm over there, I am over there. I just don't broadcast much on it. Other than that, I don't have a problem with it. We was having a conversation earlier, and I was telling somebody I'm for it due to the people who have the seizures and all that, because it has been proven to help people who have nervous conditions, and I think it's awesome that something natural can take care of them better than the medications. But I'm gonna let you go because I don't want to jump too far.
We're gonna roll it. We're gonna roll this out nice and smooth. You heard? So right now we're gonna take a quick pause for the cause, and we're gonna go into ABC News Primetime, and we're gonna talk about that good old weed.
And now to the growing acceptance of legalized marijuana across the country. Nearly half of Americans now have access to legally purchased marijuana in their home states. And as prominent Democrats are calling for it to be legalized nationwide by next year, some states and communities are hoping that pot, once considered a gateway drug, could now become a gateway for economic and racial justice. Here's ABC's Alex Perche.
This is Linda Green's bread and butter, Anacostia Organics. It's an idea born over dinner.
With some close girlfriends one night, someone mentioned that DC had legalized cannabis. And we all looked at each other because we're all in the same age group and products of the 60s and said, we should go in that business.
Well, Linda, a longtime community organizer in the nation's capital, saw an opportunity to open a marijuana dispensary in one of the city's chronically poverty-stricken areas.
This is not a stoner industry. It's been misconceived. It's not a stoner industry. It's an industry of healing.
Linda is one of more than 320,000 Americans who work in the cannabis industry. Recreational use of pot is currently legal in 17 states and D.C. Sales in 2020 reached more than $17.5 billion. An incredible boom for an industry during a pandemic. And all of this despite the federal prohibition.
The bill is passed.
The U.S. House recently passed one of a handful of bills currently working its way through Congress that would strengthen the industry. The SAFE Act would make it easier for cannabis companies to do business in states where sales are legal.
It's time for change. I believe the time has come to end the federal prohibition on marijuana in this country.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, speaking on 420, said the time is right for action on legalization.
Not only to end the federal prohibition on marijuana, but to ensure restorative justice, protect public health, and implement responsible taxes and regulations.
But is the Biden White House ready for it?
At the federal level, he supports decriminalizing marijuana use and automatically expunging any prior criminal records. He also supports legalizing medicinal marijuana. So that's his point of view on the issue.
But that's not full legalization, and data shows that's what most Americans want. A recent Pew Research Center poll shows 91% of those surveyed say marijuana should be legal. And of those respondents, 3 in 5 say cannabis should be legal for both medicinal and recreational use. Less than 10% believe pot should remain criminalized across the board.
Looking at the current Congress and the current administration, do you feel as though that there is a clock, there is a window in order to get this through?
I think there is a window of opportunity right now that maybe won't exist in a year.
Andrew Friedman was Colorado's so-called cannabis czar.
I was the governor's director of marijuana coordination.
He created the framework for the first legal pot market in the country and has seen the industry grow from the start. Since 2014, marijuana has made over $10 billion in sales for the state. That's generated more than $400 million in tax revenue used to fund state school-related projects.
It seems as though getting to a point where it's about breaking through the taboo. Where do you think we stand in terms of that mindset?
Yeah, so, if you go to Colorado right now and you have a conversation about cannabis, it's the most normal thing in the world, right? It stands right alongside alcohol. It stands right alongside the Denver Broncos as just a thing to have a conversation about.
Andrew now runs the Coalition for Cannabis Policy, Education, and Regulation, a think tank that includes big tobacco, big beer, security companies, and others who have a stake in the cannabis industry.
What's the strategy going forward?
So our strategy is really to stop focusing on if legalization should go forward, recognizing that legalization has gone forward. It's a reality for almost half of America.
It's here.
It's here. And we really need to start talking about how rather than if legalization is a good idea.
And the most recent state to legalize marijuana? Virginia. This is tobacco country, part of the Bible Belt. The Commonwealth, now the first to legalize recreational use in the South. It happened just last month when Governor Northam signed the law.
This is the latest step we are taking toward building a more equitable and just Virginia.
And while you won't be able to sell drugs legally for 3 years, the governor pushed for the legislature to speed up the timetable for legalization of simple possession to limit drug arrests.
Movie night.
Should have been watching the stove instead.
Tell me something I don't know.
With your Farmers Policy Perk guaranteed replacement cost, your home can be rebuilt regardless of your limits.
That's really something.
Fuck them commercials though.
Farmers Policy Perk.
But
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
I'll be waiting for my check.
According to the ACLU, Black Americans are nearly 4 times more likely than white Americans to be arrested for marijuana possession despite similar usage rates.
Governor Northam says that he's going to end the disparate treatment of people of color. I understand that this happening in Virginia is personal to you.
Oh, it's personal. I was on 95 in Virginia when I was pulled over and arrested for cannabis possession. Born and raised in Virginia, I, didn't think that would happen to me.
Shanita Penny was charged with possession a decade ago. And it was that simple traffic stop that cost her nearly $3,500 to expunge her record.
So it's a difficult process for someone who's pretty reasonably, resourced, but for someone who's not, this becomes a game changer in the worst way.
Despite her run-in with the law, Shanita went on to rise to the top of her profession and work with Fortune 500 companies as a consultant.
As the president of MCBA.
And today, using her skills in compliance and business development, the one thing that could have ruined Shanita's life is now driving her way of life.
It lit a fire under me to make legalization happen in a way that people who were not interested in consuming this plant or being a part of this industry, that they would fully understand why legalization is so important and how equitable legalization can impact your life, whether you're, again, touching this plant or not.
Shanita says she believes her encounter with the law is an example of the staggering racial bias in policing minorities for possession. And as states start to decriminalize and legalize, the movement is turning towards using marijuana laws as a gateway to justice.
Why was it so important to start with decriminalization of simple possession?
We had to understand that if the legislation was truly going to prioritize racial equity and the harm that's been done, that we needed to stop the harm as soon as possible.
And advocates say that growing revenue stream for states is being used as a possible source for racial equity and economic opportunity. From drug laws that were historically used to imprison populations of color to now laws that could help fund renewal.
A lot of the conversation now is how do you make sure that the economic opportunities available are there for the communities most harmed by the war on drugs?
One idea: reparations.
This is a historic vote.
In March, the town of Evanston, Illinois passed a resolution where tax revenue from pot sales will be used to help its Black residents who faced historic unfair housing practices. $10 million total over 10 years to be used on home repairs or down payments.
We have a lot of hopes on the commercial market here, particularly in Virginia, but it is going to be a hard push to truly make that equitable. And we would like to really say that this is a first step forward. This is a progressive step forward.
Virginia's law includes something called the Cannabis Equity Reinvestment Fund. 30% of tax revenue raised goes towards helping communities historically over-policed for marijuana crimes. And for Linda Green, there's a reinvestment of sorts as well.
One of the things that I did was I opened my dispensary in the community in which I live.
Linda's workers come from her Anacostia neighborhood. She says she teaches them the ins and outs of the industry so that one day this little green plant can be used not only to heal the sick, but also her community. Alex Berche, ABC News, Washington.
Let's talk about that. Oh shit! Who let the dog out? Eleanor Marie in the house. What up, Eleanor? We're gonna pull this up. Hold on. We're gonna make this a nice multi-screen grid right here.
What's up, Eleanor?
What up?
Eleanor up like that. Bam. We're gonna.
I got a story out of Anacostia. Y'all know Anacostia right by the hood. Stop it.
You know what? When I heard it, I thought the same thing. I was like, okay, yeah, she's giving back to the community.
Right. Y'all make the money. We're gonna recycle it real quick. This is a real quick rinse.
All right, let's talk about this. Who wants to go first? God damn it! Let's talk about
first lady of the broadcast. Go, first lady.
That's like she went back to Paul Rockaway. Like she literally went back to start her store. All right, no doubt.
Anacostia is right there by Southeast DC. Southeast DC is the roughest part of that area, my understanding. I used to work at Bowling Air Force Base, which was right there. Anacostia and Bowling, pretty much the same military installation.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I was working night shift and I could hear the gunshots over. I was glad I had my bulletproof vest on. I was standing at the gate. So I don't know if one of them bullets was coming my way or not. So when they said Anacostia, the first thing I said is, oh, hell. And then she told me she's going to give it back to the community. I'm glad I wasn't can't. I almost died when she said that. I'm like, yeah, you ain't got no choice. They gonna come over there and get it. So shoot.
man.
Now, the reparation story that you covered on that, as far as that city, I think it was Evanston, Illinois, I was glad to hear the story. It actually gave us a new aspect, a new perspective. My problem is the dollar amount. There ain't enough money. There's not enough money. They're only gonna give $10 million over 10 years. Come on.
Should be, I say 10 million, because when you look at those numbers, right? Look at the numbers that were raised, right? For example, they laid a couple of numbers out.
Yes.
The amount of money that they had received in tax revenue, right? Was in the how many 100 million?
470 million in one state.
Yeah. Now. So they're saying 10 million over 10 years. Now, it's different states now, mind you. Like you know. So I don't you know.
Yes.
That's not really a lot of the bag. Kissy cats in the house. A lot of the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like yes. they could spread a little more love. How you feel, brother, standing about that? They need to spread some of that love back, like a little more.
I'm not even understanding how the cannabis industry. I mean, okay, so the casinos. Let me just go step back a little bit.
Go ahead.
Lottery, casinos. Now it's cannabis. If I'm not mistaken, and I believe everybody is of age, everybody is mature enough in here to remember when lottery came along.
Yes.
Like in masses, you know, we had lotteries, but you know, I'm not talking about street shit. I'm talking about like real lotteries. Wasn't that to help the schools?
Yes, I caught that too. Go ahead, I caught that.
Roll this in.
Then the casinos started to come along.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that to help the schools?
Yes, it was. Keep going. Keep going. Come on.
Now we got cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
And they said a big amount. I already told y'all I'm kind of remote here. Y'all actually sitting on a pack of bananas on top of a canister of banana chips. So I just put y'all on like a whole bunch of bananas and shit. It's not like any type of monkey connotation or anything.
I like bananas.
Yeah, see, you know, real bananas, like real bananas. And my granddaughter likes banana chips and bananas, so I didn't bring my phone stand home. So this is how I got y'all propped up. This is some high-tech shit here.
Listen, man, as long as it works. Listen, bro, as long as that joint works, that's what it's all about.
It's
you in the
working.
house, and I'm glad you made it.
It's working. Yeah, so that, I see something happening here because they're doing it with the cannabis now. This is supposed to be for the schools. So much money supposed to be going to the schools. Now, through generations of lotteries, casinos, and now cannabis, all the goddamn schools done closed.
Thank you. Come on.
But you want to know they're still underfunded here. Like, I don't know if the money's actually going to our schools.
What was that, Eleanor?
I'm not sure how much of that is actually reaching our schools because that number was in my state, and our schools are still highly underfunded. You know, like, so I don't know. I don't know if I trust that they're giving the schools all that money.
Oh, I absolutely don't believe that the schools are getting all this money, and it's also another way that these politicians have become multimillionaires.
Facts.
I mean,
Private
Mitch
jets.
McConnell is one of the richest politicians ever.
5-star hotels.
Out of Kentucky. Out of fucking Kentucky. This mush-mouth motherfucker is one of the richest motherfuckers ever.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi.
Come on.
Give it to him.
Maxine Waters. They said Maxine Waters lives like a movie star.
Yeah. And not even in her own district.
Literally like a movie star. And she has the highest black homeless district in the country.
Yeah.
And she doesn't live in her own district. I like to say that again.
Yeah.
I thought you had to.
How is that so? How can you live outside of your district? I don't give a fuck if you just live in the good part of your district. But you got to live in your district.
Not according to her.
Even police have to live within the limits of their district.
That's crazy though, right? That's crazy. That's crazy.
But it's for the schools. It's for the schools. It's all for the schools, man.
You know what? I think you nailed something when you said that, because that sounds like when Farrakhan was talking about jobs and equality in the 60s when we marched. What was he talking about? Jobs and equality. The Million Man March. What was he talking about? Jobs and equality.
Jobs and equality.
It's 2021. What are we still talking about? Jobs and equality.
Jobs and equality.
Wait a damn minute. I like that you brought that in there. Wait a damn minute. So
can I live?
The thing with the schools, like you said, I caught that when they said that. Because when I vote in Georgia, they always got a bill for the schools, and I always approve it. But then they start talking about what's wrong with the bill. I'm like, okay, if there's something wrong with the bill, why the hell y'all still letting them get up there? The schools are getting money. And like you just said, this was nailed. I didn't even think about this. The schools are closing. Y'all don't need that much money to clean up. Some cleaning products that don't cost half of what you're spending, and save y'all money so y'all can pay everybody else and then still do reparations on top of it. I'm with him on that. I'm like how you brought that up there. I appreciate that.
They're cutting school programs, cutting art programs, cutting English programs, Shakespeare. But in my area, you can drive around and check out the football stadiums at each high school.
Wow.
Literally.
Wow. And I understand them still trying to make money no matter what. I got that part. But at one point, you're going to start looking out for the people, because it look like y'all profiting and we're not getting nowhere. That's what it's looking like. Y'all make all this money off of cannabis. You only give it $10 million back to the people who suffered the hardest. $470 million in one state. Then you're kicking out only 10. And then we're going to use that as an example. That's less than 1%. So where the rest of the money going?
Crazy.
The country ain't in that much debt because you just kicked out checks to everybody. Now, let me go ahead and meet y'all halfway on some of this shit, because y'all kicked out a lot of money last year for stimulus checks and everything. I'm going to give everybody that. Let's be clear. And I said this before. I ain't mean to divert. I try to behave myself. I ain't even been drinking yet, but I got to do this shit. Last year, you kicked out a whole bunch of damn money for stimulus checks. I want to give the government some credit, because every time they told people no when it came to giving money, they want to save it for an emergency. Last year was a bona fide emergency. I'm glad they had it. No bullshit. I'm still getting stimulus checks here and there. They've been timely. I don't care what job you got. That check came in handy for your ass at some point. Because everybody who don't have money, people who do have money, the stuff that they got going on, well, you ain't got no kid. We're going on your leg. But people who are going through something based on the pandemic, whether you was employed or not, so those checks came in handy. I'm going to give them a little bit of credit for that. So if you're pocketing this money for an emergency, I will give you that. Based on the example of last year alone, I got to give the government just a little bit of credit. If you're borrowing money or if you're pocketing money and you save it for an emergency, I'm good. But right now, shit don't look great. We need an explanation, straight up. We need an explanation.
But now, and I'm just gonna squeeze it in real quick.
Yes.
If they're gonna do that, I say just be a little more generous. I'm just gonna go right to the chase. If that's how we're gonna do it, let's do a little more. That's
Can
all
I
I'm saying.
just
Let's
say
do a little
one
more
thing?
because
Can I literally
sure,
just
brother. You
say
can
one
say what
thing?
you need to say. Come on, go for it. Go for it,
The
man. The floor is
first
yours.
year that cannabis was legal in Colorado, everybody got an income tax check from the cannabis industry.
Yes, they did.
Every
I remember
single
hearing.
person over 18 in the state of Colorado
Really?
got a check. Yes.
Wait a minute. Let me
It's
cut you off. Let me
documented.
cut you off. Let me
I
cut
did
you off.
not.
Eleanor, I'm about to ask you. Can you confirm that? Because you're in Colorado. Can you confirm that?
I didn't, but I you know.
Let me
Do you
find
know
out.
people
Did
who
you
did?
hear?
Do you know
Did you hear
who did?
people?
I
I
do
also,
know people.
didn't get the first like stimulus check though either. You know, it's
No, not
and
stimulus check. This is when
right.
cannabis first became legal in Colorado. That first
Yeah.
year, they said
Right.
every
She said she
single
never got a check.
person over 18 got, and some people's check was like $80, $90, $100, whatever.
Still a damn
But they
check.
got a check.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So the story's been, yeah. And like I said, you
I'm looking it up. Hold on a second.
She's there. She is there. That's
Yeah,
just gonna be a
yes.
serious
So it was
talk.
perfect
Yeah.
that she was there. Yeah, it's perfect that she. What's the name? Or was it a certain county or city or something? Like, how does that
I'm
work?
thinking major city off the
'Cause
rip.
I never
But the
got
state
shit.
was making. I think the
I
state
don't
was
live
making
there
$1
anyway,
million
but
a
I'm
month
just
off of
saying.
it, Eleanor.
Huh?
That's heavy
The story
cash.
I heard was Colorado was making like $1 million a month off of marijuana up there.
And they're
Back when it first.
they're making a ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous amounts of money.
Look, Eleanor just wants
I can't
hers.
even
Fuck it.
fathom the numbers. So I don't know.
Because she's our official numbers person. When she just
Right,
said
right, right.
it's
She
just
will
a
get the
fucking ton
Google
of
or some
money.
shit.
She's just shaking her head like it's a fucking ton of money. God damn
I
it!
mean,
Big
these
up to
places
us,
had
ton of
people
money.
just like waiting in lines out the door and around the buildings when they first opened. I mean,
Right.
Hey, I want to check right now. I'm like supporting the marijuana industry.
Right. I know you are. Right.
Facts. And you didn't. Oh, yeah. Well, PA. Yeah. PA gets no. We don't. PA doesn't. We don't include PA on the stimulus weed kickback list. But big up to PA anyway. God damn it. Keep smoking. Keep those dispensary lines long. Right. So all right. So check it out. So for real. So let me ask you guys. All right. Now personally, do you like? I'm not sure how these laws work. Right. Is there an age limit on the age? Like for example, is there an age limit for the purchase? Like when you go to the dispensary, Eleanor, is there an age limit? 18
to
under
purchase
21?
from just a dispensary, you have to be 21. You can
21.
get your red card, which is the card for medical marijuana in the state of Colorado. You can get your red card at I believe 18 now. It originally was also at 21, but they lowered it for down to 18. And then they can also, if not all, like if your kid has certain health problems, they can get a red card, but not all the health problems like an adult can get a red card for can the children get the red card for.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's real shit. I like, yeah. And I've been hearing that a lot too. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What about out there in Detroit? There's a limit in the spots, Brother Shannon?
21. Yeah, 21 customarily. And Michigan has also had laws because they had medical first. There were people under the age of 21 who had medical marijuana cards who could get into dispensaries. And you had juveniles who had them because Michigan is a pretty progressive state where it goes. So people have been using it for medicine for their kids for a while since medical, and I knew some minor children who had medical marijuana cards, but they wouldn't allow them in dispensaries without their parent, but they actually did have cards.
That's what's up though.
Oh, the parent. Yeah, that's a good idea though. I think that's
Where'd the sound go?
I don't know. Somebody got shot.
I thought that was me.
Oh.
Well, where's smoke?
There's fire.
He off his own shit.
It happens. We'll wait.
Well, we can hear each
You
other.
are watching the Smoke No Show show.
Wow. Wow. How you gonna shoot a shot on your broadcast?
Well, we can keep the conversation going still.
Oh, it's
talking
T-Roy's the
about,
first lady of the show,
as
y'all.
far as
Everybody hand clap, hand
media.
clap. Yeah. I'm gonna do the
We
sound
see
effect.
you out there with your nose pressed against the window. We're not letting you in.
I do know for me, but I'm sorry I kicked off. I was having issues
No,
with
go
my
ahead, go.
computer
I was wondering,
for
I thought
whatever
something
reason.
happened.
But when I was listening to discussion, I kind of felt like how you guys were saying about the quote unquote reparations going back to the communities and stuff. Like, and another problem that I realize when they do stuff like that, they make you fill out applications, which most of these people ain't got time for because they work in 2 jobs, 3 jobs sometimes just to make ends meet. So in order for them to get this money back, they gotta go through the system of like, it's almost impossible to get the money back, even though they said, oh yeah, it's for you guys. So
I'm glad you said that. I forgot about the application process, which people think is
it gets set in the bank and just I mean, so I agree with what you guys are saying about that whole thing.
They closed us out of that. They closed us out of that part too, because as freedmen, I mean, I identify as a freedman, Black American, okay, Native, not an immigrant. No disrespect against immigrants, but I'm talking about natives. Native Black Americans have been ostracized because of this plan. Right. Criminalized, demonized, whatever, every kind of motherfucking eyes out there.
Facts.
Now, my thing is, at this point, you saying we needed it originally is like $6,000 for an app fee. Then you had to have about $500,000 in equity collateral sitting somewhere, and it had to have been there for like 36 months. Right. And then they go through that and find out where that money comes from. But you had to have all types of shit. Then you had to have some real estate so you could build on that real estate because you had to own your shit. Black folks didn't have that kind of money nationally. You got some individuals who've done well, been able to get into it. But for the most part, they closed the average Black man right out right there.
Why did I get dropped out? I was just looking at that.
Because I dropped out too.
Yeah, I'm up there. T-Ronnie, you got director control or no?
Let me check. Did you get dropped out? Oh, wait. You
I just see my picture was down. I was looking, I was counting everything up and said, hold on, something not right. His microphone hasn't come back up at all either. I don't know what happened.
No, he's still in control.
And the whole broadcast, I've been wanting to say hi to Roni.
Eleanor, it's my sisters.
Big ups to Ernest Hill over there. He been rolling with us a lot. Big
and of course,
big ups to Her Story Untold.
Yes.
Big ups to LM7. Big ups to Frida.
And we can't forget Brother Shannon.
Oh, his brother Shannon's here.
How y'all doing? Happy Sunday to everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, have you guys heard of this this new group? They actually now have a cannabis electoral group now. Did you guys hear of that?
No,
I had not.
So there is, you have Democrats, you have Republicans, you have Independents, you have Green Party. There is now a cannabis party. And
they're about to take over.
Yeah.
Democrats.
Well, I think first and foremost, they need to change the cannabis group's name to the Green Party.
I was going to say,
Green Party the fuck out of here.
There, right? Like, we get that, right?
I mean, by default, we should get the Green Party.
Yes.
Well, let me ask
Green Party ain't did nothing with the brand. I mean, goddamn, they ain't did nothing with the brand. Give it up.
Do something. If they were to give themselves a political title like Democrat or Republican, what else would you name them besides what they had?
The Can Do Party. I don't know. I mean, they do have a name. Let me look this up. What their name is. But they do
no, because then they be calling us Catmandu.
And they are growing.
Stop people from separating into groups. And
so you got the Green Party, you got the Natural Party. We ain't gonna go Libertarian. That's been done.
I know
Patriotic, that's been done. So Democrats for democracy, Republicans are for the republic. What would the cannabis industry be for?
They can't.
Here's the crazy thing.
What?
I never heard of two, but it would be dope. The Growth and Development Party.
The GAD Party.
Yeah.
GAD.
The GAD Party.
I'm not even mad at that.
You got Dems, you got GOP, and then you got
GAD.
GAD.
One of Joseph's brothers in the Bible, the GAD Party.
Well, I let me give you guys, because there's a lot of con as far as cannabis. I mean, and we don't freely talk about it. But what happened to everybody?
I don't
I'm
know.
here.
I think he's waiting for the background smoke. If you can hear me, give T-Ronnie
There
direct
you are,
controls
guys. There you
while you're
go.
working
You
I,
everything
smoke
out or
back?
whatever.
I think you
He's working
smoked
it.
a little too much before the show.
Huh?
Yeah. T-Ronnie should have direct control. She's
Because
second.
when T-Ronnie came, when she
Smoke,
came
smoke,
full
smoke.
screen.
Yeah. He might be working.
Yeah, that's on how I lost you guys.
Maybe
I
he
think
can
he's
hear
trying
us.
to.
I think he can
Oh, I
hear us.
thought you controlled it. You just made yourself go full screen.
Oh, there you go. He did. Okay, here we go. So, do you have everybody on? No.
Yeah, he gave me the direct control too. T-Ronnie, you got it though,
You
lady.
put him.
You were before me on this.
Oh,
There you go.
so nice of you
Let's
to
see if we can
show.
put his audio.
So we got everybody up here. Biggest thing. You can have up to 8. So I don't know if he wants his image up there or not. I would say yes.
That's his image is
It's
there.
up
The on live
the
on
live
air.
one.
We just don't have the audio.
Gotcha.
Okay. There you go. See. Let me see if I can. I'll uninvite him and then I'll invite him again.
He'll pop back up. I would say leave him be.
Okay.
Leave him be. He'll pop back up. He can
Oh,
jump
let
back
me
in
try.
on his own broadcast. He just got to go through the studio settings again.
Can you all hear my neighbor's loud ass music through here?
Little bit.
Yes.
No,
Not much.
They're
no,
playing
not
over
at all.
there.
Let me know if I mean I can turn my mic off if you need me to. Just let me know.
Oh, it's not that
No,
loud.
you're fine.
Kind of hear
It's
it in
not
the
that bad.
background,
Yeah,
but I
no,
didn't
It's
know
loud
you
here.
said
Like
it.
For the record, nobody's background noise really bothers me. Nobody's outside conversation, but we are all at home. I don't want to hear this shit. Do your thing. I'm just glad
right.
you
So,
It's
okay,
only
let's
your front
so let's
ground noise
continue
that
on the
bothers me sometimes.
conversation about the cannabis. You know, we're talking about the next hashtag is growth and development, and then I've heard that you know gummies are the best way because smoking is the same effect as if you're smoking cigarettes, even though
No,
you know it's not about like you're not smoking in as many inhale as you know like tar and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
You are doing damage to your respiratory system. How do you guys feel about that?
I have a story about that. When
I
I
want to go
started,
last
Tell me.
on this.
when I started medical
Okay.
marijuana 2 years ago, I was on oxygen. I could barely walk 5 feet without needing to sit down. Since I've been on medical marijuana, I've lost weight. My quality of life is better. I'm not doped to death on opiates anymore. And
You just feel better overall. Like your body can, you feel like your body can work a bit better or less harder.
oh yeah, I mean, I have never had a pain medicine before that covered the pain, but I could still function like a normal human being.
Okay. Okay. Brother Shannon, what you have to say? Can you hear?
Yep, I can hear. What was the question again?
You don't need to smoke no more. This broadcast. You don't need to smoke no damn more.
That's why I said I wanted to go last. I needed some nutrition because I was not focused. So I wanted to get back focused, but she chose me second instead of last. So give me the question. I'll fire.
So
I'm ready. I'm ready.
It was more along the discussion of whether or not you've heard some negative effects about hashtag growth development as far as smoking marijuana. And like I said, I've heard instances, like I've read reports where, you know, you can get lung disease. And I heard the best way to actually ingest it was through gummies. But Chrissy was saying that she actually felt a lot better with her, as far as respiratory issues, smoking, having inhaled. So do you have an experience like that or?
I prefer to smoke to achieve the levels I need to get to. I cook with cannabis. So I also prefer that method, obviously, for people to medicate, to find relief, to find joy, to relieve pain, to, achieve, or conquer sleep deprivation. Anything that I do, I want it to work for the person the way it needs to work. Now, with that being said, gummies works really well if you want to try to get into your bloodstream pretty quick because it's soluble. So a lot of people like that way. Some people like cereal bar stuff, with a little bit more solidity to it. Some people like cake-like stuff with brownies. Chocolate. Chocolate is a perfect match. It binds with cannabis really well. So
really, that's good to know. I never knew that.
He's on a shift right now.
Chocolate binds with cannabis, and here's the thing: chocolate binds with cannabis so much that I'm not putting it out there to say that it's happened with me, but we know chocolate to be an aphrodisiac.
Right.
Chocolate and cannabis can be very heightening. I'm just saying. I'm not saying this shit is Viagra or Cialis, but it's been known to heighten libidos. And speaking with a really high CBD count, which is really to lose the anxiety, so your inhibitions lower. But with the psychoactive of the THC, to be able to start it, a THC in this case is like.
Did he freeze?
Yeah, you froze.
He froze.
He was getting in too, and he was giving us the